Last episode, I asked you to write one sentence, what your channel is about, unpolished, current version, out of your head and onto something you could look at. If you did it, go get it. This whole episode happens to that sentence. And I'll tell you now what it probably says, because almost everyone writes the same shape of sentence the first time. It names a subject: personal finance, productivity, fantasy books, home cooking. That's a topic. A topic isn't a niche, and the gap between those two things is where most channels quietly die. A topic tells me what you'll talk about. It doesn't tell me who's supposed to care. Picture someone scrolling. They see a video about personal finance. There are roughly 400,000 videos about personal finance. Nothing about yours tells them it was made for them rather than for everyone. And for everyone reliably means for nobody in particular. Now picture the same person seeing a video about money for people in their 30s who feel behind. If that's them, they stop. Not because the content is better, because they've been named. Same subject, completely different sentence. Only one of them does any work. A workable niche has 3 parts, and most people are only holding one of them. A person, not a demographic, an actual describable human with a situation. A problem, something they're already trying to solve, badly, on their own, right now. And a point of view, what you think about it that isn't the standard answer. Person, problem, point of view. If your sentence has all 3, it'll be longer and uglier than the one you wrote, and it'll work about 10 times better. Let me show you the transformation on something ordinary. Before, a channel about home cooking. Now add a person. People who cook for 1 and find every recipe scaled for 4. Add a problem. Everything they make produces 4 days of leftovers, and they've stopped enjoying eating. Add a point of view. Cooking for 1 isn't a sad version of cooking for a family. It's its own skill with its own techniques, and nobody teaches it. After, cooking properly for 1 person, without leftovers and without apology. That's the same subject. But now I know exactly who it's for. I know what they're struggling with, and I know you've got an opinion about it. 3 sentences of work, and it went from a category to a channel. Now, the objection everyone has at this point, and it's a fair one. If I narrow it down that far, haven't I just made my audience smaller? No. You've made it findable, which is a different thing entirely. Broad puts you in competition with every large channel that already owns the subject, and you lose that fight because they have more videos, more history, and more of whatever the algorithm is currently rewarding. Narrow puts you in competition with almost nobody, and it gives a specific person a reason to subscribe rather than watch once and leave. Small and devoted beats large and indifferent, and it isn't close. 1,000 people who feel like you're talking directly to them is a business. 100,000 people who forgot your name by dinner is not. The other thing worth knowing is which way this moves over time. You can widen from authority. Once you're the person who covers money for people in their 30s who feel behind, you can start covering money generally, and people come with you because they trust you already. You can't narrow from vague. If you started broad and nobody knows what you are, choosing a lane later reads as a channel changing its mind rather than a channel deepening. So the narrow version isn't the permanent version. It's the entry point that should make it much easier to commit to. Which brings me to the part where Claude actually does something, and it's not what people expect. The instinct is to ask it to pick. What niche should I do? Give me 20 niche ideas, and it will answer cheerfully with 20 niches that belong to nobody because it knows nothing about you at the moment you ask. The move is the other direction. You don't want it generating, you want it interrogating. Set it up to ask you questions instead. What do people already come to you for? What could you talk about for an hour with no preparation? What do you find yourself correcting other people about? What did you have to figure out the hard way that other people are still figuring out? 20 minutes of that produces material you couldn't have written down cold because you don't have conscious access to most of what you know. Then you hand all of it back and ask for the patterns. 2 things make the difference between this working and this being a waste of an afternoon. The first is telling it to ask 1 question at a time and wait. Left alone, it'll fire 12 questions at once. You'll answer the easy 3, and the useful ones will be the ones you skipped. 1 at a time, and it follows up on what you actually said rather than moving down a list. The second is answering badly on purpose. Long, messy, unedited, contradicting yourself. The temptation is to write answers that sound good, and polished answers are useless here because you polish by removing the specific bits. The specific bits are the entire point. The reason this works is a little unflattering. You're not the best judge of what's distinctive about you, because the things you know best feel obvious to you. That's what expertise does. It converts hard-won knowledge into common sense, and then hides it. An outside interrogator doesn't have that problem. It notices when you skipped over something in 1 sentence that would take somebody else 6 months to learn. That's usually where the niche is, not in the thing you find interesting, in the thing you find obvious that other people don't. Once you've got a candidate, put it through 4 tests before you commit. The stranger test. Say it out loud to somebody and have them say it back an hour later. If they can't, it's too complicated or too vague. The 100 videos test. Sit down and try to list 100 titles inside it. If you dry up at 19, the niche is too narrow, and that's the one direction people rarely worry about. The search test. Would anybody type this into a search bar in these words at some point in a normal week? And the production test. Can you make this every week for a year without dreading it? Claude can run the first 3 with you properly. The 4th one is yours alone, and it's the one that decides whether the channel survives. Which leads to the mistake I'd most like you to avoid. People pick the niche they enjoy watching rather than the one they can produce in. Those feel identical when you're choosing, and they diverge sharply about 6 weeks in. Watching something costs you nothing. Producing in it costs you research time, opinion, and the willingness to be wrong in public about it, every week, indefinitely. So the useful question isn't, what do I love? It's, what am I willing to still be doing in 12 months on a Tuesday night when I don't feel like it? Answer that one truthfully, and the niche mostly picks itself. By the end of this, you should have 1 sentence with 3 parts in it. Not a paragraph, not a mission statement, a sentence you can say at a party without watching someone's eyes go somewhere else. Write it somewhere permanent because everything from here on refers back to it. The audience work in episode 3 sharpens it. The idea generation in episode 4 draws from it. The scripts in episode 6 are written for the person inside it. Get this one wrong and you'll feel it for the next 8 episodes. That's not a threat, it's just how the arc is built. Before episode 3, do the interrogation. 20 minutes, not 2. Let it ask you things you'd rather skip past. Then write the 3-part sentence and sit with it overnight, because the version you write at 11 at night is always more grandiose than the version you'd write in the morning. Next episode, we take the person inside that sentence and make them real. Not a demographic, one person, specific enough that you could picture them watching this on their phone, half distracted, deciding whether to keep going. The free idea generator is still in the description, and it'll work much better now than it would have last week, because it draws on the sentence you just wrote. Vague sentence in, generic ideas out. That's not the tool being weak, that's the tool being accurate. That's the episode. See you in the next one.